Hey, good evening, guys. It's your girl, Pretty Girl Jew, and I am back with another video. Of course, please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you go as far to comment, just make sure you subscribe. Help me grow my channel. I like to get in the comments and talk back with you all because sometimes there are many different perspectives in the comments that I don't necessarily touch on in the video. So again, like, comment, and subscribe, and always remember to keep it cute and respectful because it's never that serious. So what we're about to get into today is we're about to watch first, the Sheryl Swoops and Caitlin Clark post-game interview after her very first WNBA preseason debut and how awkward this moment was. And then we'll get into some of the backlash that the WNBA received for not airing all of the preseason games that they advertised for that night. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll watch the video and then I'll come back with my commentary.
Your first WNBA game, was it everything you expected it to be? I know it wasn't the outcome you wanted, but tell us how you feel about your first performance.
Yeah, I thought we played really hard. Just a great atmosphere for women's basketball. I think it's a good kickoff to the WNBA season. I think the way we played, there's some things we could have executed a little better. I thought we could have got into our offense a little bit better. The pace was amazing. That's fun basketball people like to watch, but overall, definitely what I expected.
Yeah, so what do you take away from this game? Besides the fact that you guys didn't walk out of here with a W, what do you take away from this game that you want to improve on moving forward?
I think just the little things. I think knowing when to push in transition and knowing when to slow up and run our offense a little bit better. I think overall our defense was pretty good. I thought we could have gotten better in some areas. I thought we could have passed the ball a little bit better, but overall, a lot to learn from. These are good learning experiences for us. This doesn't count. Go back and watch the film. Film doesn't lie, and learn from that.
All right, thanks. Good luck the rest of the season.
All right, so you guys saw that and how awkward that was. And one thing that I do want to point out with this interview that I pointed out in terms of the Gayle King and Dawn Staley interview, how she openly, in this black woman's face, instead of keeping it about South Carolina and their victory and how, as a coach that made her feel or what did that mean for her at this point in her career, she had to throw in there that, we were all cheering for Caitlin Clark in Iowa, and for one, who is we? And a lot of people were upset about that because it's like, man, this is not Caitlin Clark's moment. Give this woman her moment. You just kind of slapped her in the face with that. And so I feel Sheryl Swoops did the same thing to Caitlin Clark. She opened up the interview saying, hey, it wasn't the outcome that you guys wanted, but, what are your thoughts about it? And then followed up with another question and started out by stating, although you guys lost, she mentioned it again that, hey, you guys lost. And so as Caitlin Clark was explaining it, you could kind of tell she was just like, giving her, thoughts on it. And then she also made it a point to mention this doesn't count, so we just go back, we watch the film, and we try it again. And so tell me what y'all thought about this. A lot of people, including myself, thought that this was a very awkward post-game interview. I'll go ahead and read some of the replies. I'm not sure if you guys can see them because I'm in my bookmarks on Twitter and it's on the right side of the screen. But why is Sheryl Swoops so anti-Caitlin? These washed-up WNBA players are all so jealous. Why the disrespect from Sheryl Swoops? Strange to hate on Cece, who is changing the game. Swoops, who openly and wildly poo-pooed Clark and all her accolades. What a fraud. Absolutely terrible interview. Nasty work by ESPN. Horrible interview. Wow. So as you guys can see, the people, we saw right through this. The tension in this video, you could cut with a plastic knife from the dollar store. It was crazy. And so I want to know what you guys thought about this interview. More specifically, do you think that this interview was just as disrespectful as, the moment in this interview was just as rude and disrespectful as Gayle King was to Dawn Staley? And then we'll get into a lot of the backlash that the WNBA received next because this was a mess. I'll be honest, this was a hot mess. Again, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are feeling generous, I would appreciate it if you guys donated to my Cash App. Help my channel grow. I'm almost at my 1K subs. Of course, got to get my watch hours up, so stay and watch the entire video. And of course, comment down below. So we're going to go ahead and read this weak-ass apology and then read some of the replies from the fans. I came directly to the WNBA page because this is a non-biased page, right? This is their official site. So any news, updates, etc., it make sense to come here and get that information and see what the people who support any and all players and teams would say, or have to say. So apologies. Our app is incorrectly showing that every preseason game, including Chicago versus Minnesota, is available on League Pass. But you can watch the Indiana versus Dallas game tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time in a free preview of WNBA League Pass on the WNBA app. Also streaming free on the app will be the Canada game, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and even more games next week. So this was their apology, and I can understand how the people are upset. Me, I had already purchased the League Pass last year, so I didn't go out of my way to purchase it just to watch Angel Reese. I actually had it and was anticipating on watching Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I thought it was strange that they advertised both games would be playing on the League Pass at the same time. So I did think that that was pretty strange, but me being a basketball fan and me being a fan of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, I was willing to flip between both games, I could see if there was maybe some overlap with the games. One game started at 7, one game started at 8. That way at least we can get enough time to dedicate to each game without missing too much and flipping back and forth. But then when I saw this, what happened was I started seeing clips of the Chicago Sky game on Twitter, and I'm like, dang, where's the game at? And so I went back to the League Pass and I realized that the game wasn't there. And then I came on Twitter again and I saw this weak ass apology. So we're going to get into the replies. The first one with the sarcastic tone. You invented anti-marketing, which instead of promoting your product to the public that wants to consume it, hides your product and prevents the public from consuming it. Congratulations on the innovation. This is how the WNBA will grow a lot for sure. Ridiculous. It really shouldn't be that difficult to stream 11 preseason games, which I do understand it's the preseason, but people went out of their way to purchase this League Pass, not just to see Caitlin Clark. A lot of people specifically wanted to see the Chicago Sky game. So the real issue is that we can't watch the Chi versus Minnesota game as well today. And y'all know exactly what y'all are doing. So when they say y'all know exactly what y'all are doing, they're talking about the WNBA, false advertising all of these games to bring more traction to the Caitlin Clark game, knowing damn well that these other games weren't going to be aired at the same time. So that's what they meant. Why not shine the light for all the rookie? Why not shine that light for all the rookies, other rookies that are also playing? We see what's up and adding to the narrative and creating more division. So what does this mean? The other rookies like Angel Reese and Camila Cardosa, and adding to this narrative of division. Well, what narrative of division? Well, there's this narrative out anyways that, Caitlin Clark being white, she's getting way more notoriety than any black player has ever gotten, who have equally helped change the landscape of women's basketball, i.e. Angel Reese. And so that's what they mean by the division. So let's keep going. How do you drop the ball this bad and catch it the day of? Y'all know when I refer to the WNBA and speak on them, I always say that they drop the ball. And this is a prime example. Prime example. Now, this was a fan who was at the game, and they ended up streaming it on Twitter live. And this is how many views the game has garnered so far. Over 600,000 views in a few days. So now the next preseason game will be on the WNBA League Pass, which I find very interesting, but I guess cussing their ass out worked. Shocking, all games are not on League Pass. WNBA needs to change the name to not the League Pass. No wonder this league hasn't made money. Y'all literally don't want it. Let me know again what y'all think about this, because a lot of people make it seem like I make it more so about race, when I don't feel like I do, but I do know that race plays a significant part in how they're marketing Caitlin Clark. And to say that it doesn't is wild crazy, because we literally just saw a tweet where someone was like, y'all know what y'all are doing. Why not shine the light on all of the rookies, division, narrative? So we know what's up. That all has to do with race, bro. That doesn't have it. Everybody, oh, Caitlin Clark fills seats. That's fine. And nobody's arguing that, because we saw it. and we've seen it for quite some time now. But here we go, have people right here saying, I was really looking forward to watching Camilla and Angel. Y'all continue to fumble. I wanted to see Chicago Sky Game with Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso make their pro debut. But it's not even being broadcasted nor part of the WNBA League Pass. The media and marketing team for the WNBA has to do better. People are literally begging to support the teams and can't. That's crazy. And that's what it is. Like, people are literally going out of their way to purchase these league passes. Y'all went out of y'all way to advertise on the league pass that all of the preseason games would be there, only for one game to be there. That's crazy. People have a right to be upset. I paid to watch the Chicago and Lynx. This is ridiculous. I bet if CC got drafted to Chicago, y'all wouldn't have fumbled making sure her first game was on TV. I mean, well, they didn't fumble either way because her first game was on TV, but I get what they're saying. Chicago that game would have been aired. It wouldn't have been no mistake. Okay, but no apologies for not actually airing the game. This is ridiculous. 2 top 10 draft picks making their debut, and one of the original WNBA players is making her coaching debut tonight, and we can't watch it anywhere. We trying to see Angel and Camilla debut together as teammates. What the fuck? And that's a storyline, too, that would have been good to televise, because we know Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are considered rivals. And we could say the same for Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese up until now. We just seen them battle head to head in the Elite Eight. We've seen clips. If you haven't, check it out. Look on YouTube. Do some research on the players. But they've been competing against each other since high school. The night of the draft, her mother posted a picture of them in a high school basketball game saying they've been battling for years. Now they're teammates. So that is a storyline that people would have loved to see. When the draft aired and we saw Angel Reese get picked 7th overall, social media went crazy about that. They did not capitalize on that moment at all. Like, I would really like to know whose idea was it not to air that game, or at least to have it to run it back, to play it back, the playback. So I guess that's pretty much that on that. Y'all see what the people have to say. Y'all can go back and watch some of my other videos where I kind of touched on certain elements in terms of marketing, when we spoke about why people were upset when Caitlin Clark's Nike deal got released, and they were comparing her to A'ja Wilson, who is, to me, arguably the best player in the WNBA right now with 2 championship titles and no signature shoe deal. And I think a lot of people were wanting her to specifically have a Nike shoe deal. But, that's the point. And the point of that argument was, or a main talking point of that argument, why A'ja Wilson doesn't have a Nike deal, was race. Another main part of that conversation was marketability. And so then we have to ask the question, okay, so is Angel Reese not marketable? Because she came out of she's a part of the same draft class as Caitlin Clark. We have been put on to women's basketball because of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Me personally, I'll say Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson. I knew who Flau'jae Johnson was because of the rap game. So when I seen that she was playing for LSU, I'm like, oh, cool, let me check her out. She's very talented. And then I started to peep in to a peep game with Angel Reese. And then even though they beat Iowa, I'm looking at Caitlin Clark like, she a dog. Like, you can't play with that lady. Like, she not nothing. She not one of them. She one of those. Like, for real. So for me personally, it wasn't Caitlin Clark that got me into the game of women's basketball how I am now. It was Angel Reese and LSU. And then Caitlin Clark, because I started to see, okay, well, she's cold. Let me check her out too. So now I'm locked in. But that just goes to show you that not Caitlin Clark is marketable. That she's not the only person that's marketable. Angel Reese is known as the Bayou Barbie. That goes outside of basketball. That's a brand. That's a walking brand. When you hear Bayou Barbie, you think Angel Reese. So tell me again how. Angel Reese has a Reebok deal, so we're not really questioning her shoe deal and all endorsements and NIL deals, because I feel like Angel Reese, she got that shit going on too. But if we compare to somebody like A'ja Wilson, who is very well accomplished, Caitlin Clark has 0 championships. So I'm not sure about her high school career, but in terms of NCAA, no championships. So it's like, damn. And then you had Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese, both coming off of what? Camila Cardoso got a championship in 2022. Angel Reese got one in 2023. Camila turned around and got another one in 2024. Why isn't their first preseason game being televised? It just doesn't make sense, Not saying that Caitlin Clark shouldn't have been. We're saying also, why wasn't the other game televised? So I'm pretty much finished. That's that on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, keep in mind to keep it cute. I'm out of here. Deuces.